So let's do a few exercises from the Fang Zhongguang series. But before we get going, I'm going to say a few words. There are two aspects to reality, or two dimensions to reality. We don't really have the right words for it. The relative world and the absolute. The relative and the absolute. The relative world is the world that we live in. It's the three-dimensional world of time and change. And because there is time and change, sometimes there's a lot of change, and it's very difficult. Our pain comes from those changes, not all of which are for us individually or even collectively are they good changes. They're difficult. And it's actually impossible to find an antidote to all that change and disruption and craziness in the relative world, because you're trying to use something relative to fix something that's also relative. So it's like trying to use change to fix change. It's just not theoretically possible. So wise men and women all through history on every continent have discovered their own ways of touching on the absolute. And that can happen through religion. It can happen through philosophy. It can just happen for you personally. Everybody's got little things where they touch on the absolute. And when you touch on that, you're touching on something that is not in the relative world, that is not in time and does not change. And because it's not in time and does not change, it actually affords you a real ground. It's the ground that we all actually stand on all the time, we just don't see it. If you can touch on that, it doesn't make the difficult things go away, but it gives you some grounding and centering and some relief from the distress of the relative world. And our relative world right now is going through massive changes. Maybe in a way, the most massive change in human history. So it's very difficult. I don't know about you guys, but I was talking with Annie last night. It's hard. It just gets to you. Now you can say what gets to you, well, is this headline or that headline, and all that's true, but that's not really the issue. The issue's deeper than that. It's just feeling like you've got nothing to stand on. Like the sand is being washed out from underneath your feet. And the reason you feel that way is because the sand is being washed out from underneath your feet. And it's difficult. It's even traumatic. For a lot of folks, it's truly going to be traumatic, maybe for all of us. So finding a way to touch on the absolute can really help you stay centered and relatively calm. It's very healing. In the Chinese tradition, that absolute is called the DAO. The DAO that can be spoken is not the real DAO. You can't describe it. You can't put any words to it. So they just call it the DAO. And the DAO is a word that means the way, like a path through the woods. That's the DAO. It's just the way you walk. And ultimately in Tai Chi and Qigong, you're doing a lot of things. You're working on your health, and maybe you're working on self-defense. What you're really working on is finding the Tao in your motions and just giving some time to practicing the Tao. So when you do Fang Zhong Gong, don't let your mind run away anywhere. Mine sometimes does. Uh, Stay focused on how it feels, physically when you do this. There's something really solid about that. And if it feels good, enjoy it. So normally we start with a cleansing exercise. So let's go ahead and do the cleansing exercise, and then followed by 3 charging